Megan.
And I'm Miranda.
And welcome back to the Barely Surviving 30 podcast. Episode 5. Ninth grade.
Woo-hoo!
You see, we were going to do dance, but then we decided to do ninth grade since we told you we were going to do ninth grade, and I'm not a liar.
To be determined on that last sentence.
Oh, okay. So, Miranda says over here in our show notes, how are we? I don't know if we're talking about ninth grade or how we are today. How are we today? Tired and sick. Well, Miranda's sick.
Yeah, I'm sick. I'm sick. Sorry, I sound like a cigarette smoker. And, there's nothing wrong with sounding like that, I guess, if you like doing that, but I don't sound like this normally. And I also don't have my kids, so I'm kind of depressed and sad. So it's like the worst combination.
Well, that's sad.
I know. It's okay, though.
Oh man. Well, we hope you're having a great new year. We hope it's great for you. Um, we hope you're not sick. We hope you had a great holiday. Whatever you celebrate.
Megan, they're out of January by now. Now they're in February. Listen, I hope that you're cuddled up with somebody super cute and you're going to have a good Valentine's Day because I'm not. But I hope you do and carry on the love for all of us.
I mean, it should be more than just Valentine's Day love. It's not even a real holiday.
I know, but I just think of February as like a red and pink month,
The
you
same.
know?
But
I mean, you're in a relationship, so you can't really say much.
I know, but we really don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Kind of half because of our anniversaries is like in February, and also like obviously I had no control over when we started dating, but I just don't like February.
You don't like February.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
listen, I don't like Valentine's Day because I do think it's fake, but I also feel like when you're not in a relationship and that month comes around, it's kind of like, oh, like it reminds you, oh, hey, you're not in a relationship. And it's
Yeah,
like,
it's sucky.
I already know I'm not. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. You walk into every store and there's hearts everywhere. It's just kind of a depressing time for all the single people that actually want something. Like, if you're
Yeah.
single and you don't want anything, like, I'm sure it's fine. Give a heart to, like, my mom always, she's single and she wants to stay single for the rest of her life. But, like, she always gives us Valentine's. She's like, all 5 of you kids are my Valentines. And now I have 3 grandchildren that are my Valentines too. And I'm like, girl, go spend your money on something else, but also give me that heart-shaped Reese cup. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, mom used to always be my Valentine like during high school too, so I guess that's kind of nice because she'd get me like a little basket and have some candy and like Bath and Body Works stuff in there, and it was always nice. I liked my mom being my Valentine. I wish she'd still give me stuff, mother. No, I'm just kidding. I don't need anything.
Yeah, no, my mom is still getting stuff. She will make up a holiday if you let her,
Like
just to get
Sweetest Day.
people stuff. She doesn't celebrate Sweetest Day because that's in like October, right? She doesn't really celebrate that. I think because it's not, she celebrates the commercial holidays. So, like, if it has any spot in a Walgreens, she's about it. She is about it, and
Yeah.
she is going to buy as many things as she can to give to people.
Well, see, when we came down to Florida and we were like, "Oh, Sweetest Day," they were like, "What? What are you talking about? I don't know what Sweetest Day is." And I'm like, "It's basically like another lovey day in October this time." So they don't
To be
celebrate
fair,
it
I
either.
don't see anything about it here in Georgia. And honestly, like, if we go all the way back, like, I don't remember anything about it during like high school, middle school.
I just remember it because my mom would always say stuff about it. But
It's another made up day, whatever. Anyway, I hope you have a good Valentine's Day if you have somebody. I hope you have a good Valentine's Day. If you don't have anybody, we can be lonely together.
or just do whatever you do on a regular Friday. Treat yourself all the time. Get yourself a Starbucks or a Dunkin' if you don't like Starbucks. Eat some chocolate
Or
candy.
Caribou if you're elitist and don't like either of those.
Or what's the one in Tennessee? I don't know.
There's like Pete's or something, or
No.
something Bros.
Yeah.
There's Get yourself a coffee.
Go do it, because we said so. All right, well, so in this episode, we are going to be talking about ninth grade and our first experience in high school. Da da da.
But before we get into that, we are going to talk about the remaining 8th grade jazz, because we forgot to talk about it in our last episode about our 8th grade graduation and the party that we had, because I really liked that
Oh,
party. It
yeah.
was 80s themed.
Yeah.
And we will insert photos to this podcast episode of us being covered in silly string and
Honestly,
dressed up.
our outfits were iconic.
Iconic.
Yeah. It was pretty
That's
cool.
it. That's all I had to say about that.
Oh. Well, also, um, our eighth grade grad party, we had my aunt there and her friends, and they had a lot of different, 80s stuff that they came in, and our friends, and it was really cool. We had a Pac-Man cake that I remember.
I don't
Uh,
remember that.
oh,
I want pictures.
yeah, there's pictures on Snapfish that I'll have to pull up, and I think no, that was okay, because we had another party too, or maybe it was my party, where we all dressed up and we did like movies in my garage, and we had like movie posters hung up and stuff, and we gave out awards, and that
That
was
was
why.
for a birthday of yours.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what else we did at the party, but I don't remember. But it was a really cool party. There are photos that you can go check out.
Guess who went?
No, there's no way. There's no way we got to bring him up again.
I think WH did go.
I don't
I'm pretty sure he went.
I don't think so. I know TS went. Taylor Swift. That's right. She came to our eighth grade graduation party. No.
She did not. She was trying to get famous.
um. No,
No, he definitely came.
I don't think so.
I think so, because I remember him in your house. Why else would he be in your house, Megan?
Who would ever let that boy into my house? Apparently we did. If I don't remember him being there. Now I gotta go check for myself and look at these photos. Because I'm almost positive that he was not there. I know TS was because we have a photo with him. And he has like a brown leather jacket on.
After that, I don't really remember much about our summer that year.
I have no idea.
Yeah. No, I figured you didn't know. I was just saying that, like, I really don't know.
Dang.
But it had to be a good summer. Like, we had to have gotten along, or else we would have remembered something.
True.
This is also the start of us being obsessed with like Alex and Roy from Wasabi Productions on YouTube. And if you don't know who that is, you need to look up Wasabi Productions, which I think might be named something else. But if you just look up Wasabi Productions and you type in Tarzan and Jane and you see two guys dancing, that's Roy and Alex. Yeah. They're beautiful.
They were great.
They have a new name now because they got back together. They split up and then they got back together. And it's something. I found them the other day on TikTok.
Yeah, they started their own sub. Well, I think so. They did that, and then they fell out, and then they created their own separate channels. I believe Roy kept one of them kept the original Wasabi production channel and changed it into something. I think it might have been Alex who kept it, and then
No,
Roy's. Did
Roy
Roy?
kept it.
Okay, and then Roy's became Guava Juice for a while, and then Alex did his own thing.
Now they're the spicy fruit gang.
Yeah, spicy fruit. Their videos are interesting. I'm glad they're back together. Cause
Yeah, they're really funny together.
yeah, they talk about like their falling out and stuff too, and then coming back together and creating videos. So we were so obsessed with them. We created like you name it, we created it. We had shirts, we had shoes. We used like the puffy paint and drew on our shoes, and I would wear those so many times. Fun, not funny, but yeah, you had them, I had them. One said Alex, the other said Roy, and then we both created shirts. I remember mine was like a teal green color, but we that was that year I think too was the year that we just created a bunch of shirts. Like that was the thing to do, if I remember.
That was the thing to do. Yeah, I really liked our shoes. I don't know what happened to them. I'm sure my mom made me get rid of them because that also, the ninth grade also started the year where I had my white shoes that had like a broken heart or something on it, and I made you sign them and you wrote all over them. Do you remember that? And on the back of, I think the left one was like, you can Google it. And it was like a quote from Twilight or something. But that sounds like you, right?
Yeah,
Sounds like you.
yeah.
And it said like Megan was here.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Like if anybody asked me what they said, Megan was right next to me the majority of the time during those years. So like
Yeah.
I don't know why she had to write Megan was here,
Uh,
but Megan was there
always.
always. Um, I think that the biggest issue for me from going to middle school to high school was the transition between like the different classes because like yes, we still had lockers and you could still go to your lockers in between each class, but in middle school, so like our middle school, I don't know if this is how everyone's is, but like we had a section just designated towards 6th grade classes and you would switch between that, right? You'd had like a general education like schedule. You couldn't like pick what you wanted. Like in high school, you did pick the classes that you wanted to do.
Right.
Mostly some of them were like general education, but like if you wanted to take art, if you wanted to take PE or stuff like that, or if you were in advanced classes, that was like in a different area altogether. So for me, it was very hard to get used to, hey, I have, math class in this trailer that you have to like go outside for because that was like when our classes were too big.
Mhm.
You have to go outside for it. And then after that, you have to come back in and you have to go all the way down basically what was known as like the freshman hall because
Mhm.
like I think freshmen tried to stay close together. And
Right.
I think every year they tried to stay like in the vicinity of each other, but you still had like bigger things. Um and then you have to like go to, English and then you have to do this and you have to do that. You have Spanish that's all the way on like the top
Upstairs, yeah.
floor. Um So, like, I just ended up getting the hang of, like we had, like, 4 classes each day, right? I think that's
Mhm.
what it was. So, I would just, like, get my 2 subjects in the beginning, like, because we got there, I think, pretty early for our high school years. We ended up there early so that we could socialize,
Mhm. Yeah, we got there
and we
way
would
too
just
early
kinda
to socialize. What the heck, man?
um, we had nothing else to do. I mean, we were freshman year was the year that we were like, "This is the shit." I
Yeah.
remember our crazy colorful makeup, like, our crazy colorful outfits,
The
like,
pants.
we were we were really into that teeny weeny stage where, like, I remember one outfit distinctly of wearing, like, bright yellow banana pants and, like, an orange undershirt, or was it a pink undershirt with, like, an orange top or a pink over top? I don't listen, the color scheme was there. And then, like, my makeup was all 3 colors. And then, of course, you flatten the crap out of your hair. Like, I don't have hair to begin with. You'll see in all these pictures, I don't have hair. But, like, Miranda was straightening that down. We wanted it as flat as possible.
Yeah, our scene phase was something else. I just remember getting literally every single color of skinny jean that you could imagine and
Mhm.
just like pairing that with random stuff and just doing our makeup. Like if my makeup wasn't done that day, there was something wrong with me because I didn't want
Yeah.
to look ugly.
No, I used to wake up at like, I remember because we ended up taking the bus for a little bit of it, I think.
Mhm.
Just like a short amount of time before like your your stepsister started taking us to school
Right.
or taking us to Nana's, and then we would walk over, because that's how we started, right?
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
we got our own cars and started going to Nana's.
That yeah, because we didn't get our cars until 10th grade, I believe, 10th or 11th, but we didn't have a parking spot until 11th grade, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Because
because we
that's not what
got
they
our
would
cars
allow.
at different. They didn't allow 10th grade. I thought we just didn't meet the deadline because I thought you had to apply for it at the beginning of the year.
Maybe, but I
So
remember.
like,
Sorry, I remember it being just like seniors had the like majority, like you were the first pick, and then 11th grade, but I don't remember 10th grade. But you might
okay,
be
that's
right.
probably right. No, our school was want to be elitist for a country school, so I could definitely see that. Um, but yeah, like, no, that was crazy. Um, I would get what I was saying earlier is I would get like two classes, then we would have lunch. We would end in like the second class, and then I would go to like the locker again and get like the third and the fourth, and then that was just how I went about my life. So if you're listening to this and you need help because you can't make it to your classes on time, just grab your two subjects first, then your two subjects left.
Unless you have
If you have more
more than four.
classes than that, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you.
I just remember carrying around so much stuff in my arm and just like being so annoyed having to go from a backpack to carrying your crap because I just wanted to carry all my stuff in my bag and that's what I had. And I didn't want to have to deal with going back to my locker and grabbing stuff and pulling different stuff out. And, I think that was also kind of like the hangout too in um, between times. Not that we had a long time, but the
Mine was
drama
like
would
five
always go
minutes.
down there before and during, before and after class.
And like the switch that was like I think the biggest deal for me is, in middle school we were allowed to carry around our Vera Bradley backpacks, and like you had pencils, you had erasers, you had everything in there, right? You had tampons if you needed it. You couldn't do that
Nope.
in high school. So like the smallest thing you were allowed to bring was like one of those three ring like little pouch things, right? Half the girls you could always tell in the back of their pants that they had like tampons. I always know that the guys like carried their pencils like in their front pockets or their back
Well,
pockets.
yeah, because they were so deep.
Yeah, we should have just wore men pants, but then I guess that would take away from the sorry, it would take away from the colorful pants.
But yeah, also to go along with like the new changes too, we also had a more stricter dress code. So like middle school, they would kind of let you get away with, having a little bit like shorter skirt, not like up to your butt, but um, I remember the fingertip rule. I don't know if that applied to high school as well, but you know, you weren't allowed to wear a lot of different stuff too. Except I feel like we were one of the like luckier schools because I know a lot of schools today are, sticking to the uniforms. So they don't even get really a choice in how they dress. They're just told like, hey, you can bring a jacket if you need to, but like here's your uniform, which I can kind of see how that would be a good thing too because then you don't have people like making fun of how other people dress. But at the same time, you kind of really don't have your your own style and unless they allow you to do your hair or makeup or anything like that.
I did a report about why uniforms would be like a positive experience. We never had uniforms growing up, but um I don't know. I don't know what younger Miranda was thinking. I think I just had to write something up, but I actually liked that we got to wear whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
I wasn't into like spaghetti straps, and I didn't really wear shorts or anything like that anyway. So like the dress code never bothered me.
No, like she said, we were really trying to be teeny weeny high school kids, and there were other people that fit that agenda more than we fit that agenda. I think we were just really liked the style or the idea of it, and we just kind of both went with it because we thought it was cool. And yeah.
And yeah. So I know that like nowadays everyone has like a Facebook. That's like no question about it.
Or
Majority of
TikTok.
people, if you don't have, yeah, if you don't have a Facebook, you have Instagram or you have TikTok or you have something, right? But like, I feel like from eighth to ninth grade, that was like really when our generation started getting into it. And we were obsessed. I was obsessed. I don't know about you. I feel like a lot of the times I pushed you into MySpace, but like I loved MySpace.
Oh, I
I had to
know.
I had to do the claps to really get that emphasis in there. I loved it. I loved creating like backgrounds and stuff like that. I was obsessed. But I hated Facebook when it first came out. I thought it was so stupid. My mom had a Facebook and I just thought it was so boring and plain. And even now, I still do not like Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
I want somebody to go on my profile and I want them to hear the music that I like. Like, why isn't that an option on Facebook?
I don't want to. It's like, you click on something and it just starts playing music and you're like, "Stop, shut up. I don't want to hear that." Like before it was cool. Like you go on somebody's MySpace and you'd be like, "All right, this is kind of cool." And now you click on it and you're like, "I don't want to hear that."
Okay, well, I mean, it doesn't have to immediately start, but like I could put a player on there, you know, and you
I
could
mean,
press play or pause if you wanted to listen to my new favorite song.
yeah, but nobody
Mine,
cares about like new favorite songs and stuff anymore as much as they did
okay,
back then.
listen, I would still go to somebody's page and I would still play the song. So like, I'm sorry that you don't care about other people's music taste, but I do.
I think people just mainly go on other people's pages to just like creep on them. I mean, that's always been something that people do, but I think people care less about the music part than they do. Like,
I don't even really go on other people's pages.
but I mean, in MySpace era, I mean, with you at least, you were creating other people's profile pictures and you were creating backgrounds and um,
It was a whole production. It
a
was like
whole production.
you went to somebody's page and like you saw their favorite colors, you saw their like favorite like gifs, whatever you want to call it. Like you saw who they were fans of on YouTube because they probably like put a YouTube embedded video on their thing.
Their top 5 friends for that
Yeah,
week.
like you knew. You knew what was going on in that person's life and I like that. I'm sorry. That I'm a fan of that. Let's bring that back.
I mean, I
You
think
don't
it.
have to do it on yours. You can keep yours to be boring, but like I want mine to be exciting.
I mean, I do think it was interesting going and seeing like the top 5 friends, especially people you were friends with, because you could tell like, oh, is this person mad at me for the week, or are we cool, or
No, I feel like that part was toxic.
it was toxic, but it was interesting to see like people do it, because especially, I mean, even if it wasn't just you, and you'd go on somebody else's page, like the popular kids page or whoever, and you'd be like, well, who's this person? Like, oh, this person's mad at this person, and trying to figure out the drama.
Do you remember when um on MySpace you were able to like enable hiding comments? And then like if you went to the URL and you put like their name and then like the comments, it would bring up the comments all of a sudden. And like we
Oh,
would read people's like things that they thought was hidden, but it wasn't hidden because like if you just type it correctly, it still shows it.
that's
I remember that.
shady.
We we found out a lot of tea through that because people thought it was hidden, so you could say whatever you wanted. I think of one person in particular, AR.
Oh,
I don't know how to spell her last name.
yeah, I could see that. And the other, I can't remember the other girls she was friends with too. She super skinny, brown hair. Yeah, 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 yeah. They were like both of those two. Well, I wouldn't even say names. Where you said AR, but then RB. Both of those two were popular, but also like sceney-ish, or they tried to be kind of. They weren't really like the kids that you would know, like ST or
Yeah,
KC
but
that
even
were popular.
even ST and KC and like BN like had their moments of like wanting to like go sceney.
Yeah, but I feel like they really couldn't because they had to uphold that look of like
Well, they were
nice,
cheerleaders.
pretty. Yeah, that too.
They were cheerleaders. They couldn't like have colored hair or anything like that.
Lame. Who'd want to do that? Not me. No hate to them now, but like,
No, they're beautiful girls. So. Freshman year is also the year that I had a new obsession. We know Miranda's crazy about men, right?
boys.
Um, first off, me and Megan had like at one point a like a note of like all these different men that we like thought we had something with. At the time, we used to call it like eye sex, right? You remember that?
Oh god, that's so
We
embarrassing. I totally forgot
we would like if you made eye contact longer than 10 seconds, you had eye sex with that person.
Ew, that's so gross to think about now. What the heck
No, I
were
think
we
about it all the time. I
on?
think about it all the time. I was just telling my coworker about it, and I was like, "Have you ever heard about what eye sex is?" And she's
She's
like, "No."
probably like, what are you on?
So I explained what eye sex was. You know, you stare at somebody, and you
You
keep
know.
staring for like 10 seconds. Yeah, and you just know that like right then and there, like
All
y'all
right.
are doing.
Right.
Anyway, so like we had like a whole note of like who we had that with, right? And so we'll bring this back up with somebody here in a second, but I just want to mention that my new obsession in this year was JA. And I want to be fair with
Ja.
this. I
Sorry.
Ja, I didn't really have an obsession with him until second semester because Megan had an obsession with him first semester.
Listen,
We
we
all had
always end up
Spanish
liking the
together.
same guys. Most of
Yeah,
the time.
except for now. Now we have different taste.
True.
Um, but yeah, no. You want to explain your like with JA before I explain mine?
I don't know. I think, okay, I feel like at the end of the day, it was kind of both like a mutual kind of thing why we both liked him, but he was just somebody, because I was very introverted and I still am, but not as introverted as I used to be. And I just feel like he was very extroverted. He was on the basketball team. Not I liked him because he was on the basketball team, but he just was always cracking some funny joke and being hilarious, and he had really cute little dimples and freckles, and I don't know, just something about him being funny and whatnot, I think was why I liked him. But I knew that nothing was ever going to happen because, let's be honest, I always considered myself just like the sidekick of Miranda, and you know, I just thought that no boy ever shall like Megan, and they all flock to Miranda.
I want to get something straight here because like nothing came of JA in freshman year. Like my obsession, I can tell you with pure confidence because I had talked to him about it why he never had an interest in me to like date. He thought I was weird. He thought I was weird. So like he wasn't gonna date somebody who's weird. Even if he thought that I was like physically attractive,
I mean, the basketball boys and the cheerleaders just had that reputation. Can't be
but
seen with anybody like that.
he never dated anybody in that school. He was dating somebody, like in MySpace days when you were like stalking people, right? Me. Um he was dating somebody else from a different school.
I mean, everybody in our school sucked, dating wise.
Eh, yeah. Um, so yeah, Megan liked him first. So when she actually mentioned that to me, I was like, ew, no. But then we only had one class in the beginning of freshman year together, and that was Spanish. I didn't really talk to him that much. But then second semester, I had 3 classes with him.
I definitely thought it was
3 classes.
math.
No, we had Spanish first with him,
Mm.
and then we had math in the
Oh, okay.
second semester
That makes sense.
because you were in my math class as well. We had math, I had PE with him, and then we had Spanish again.
Oh, having PE with him? Whew. Not
Well, it
like
was
in
PE
a,
and health. It was health first semester. Oh, maybe I had 2 classes with him then.
I don't know,
But like we didn't really talk.
not like in a hot way, like who PE, but just in like a gross, you have to see me sweat and run kind of way, especially if you liked him the second half.
I got de-pantsed by ME during one of those days, and I was really upset. I was wearing my dance warm up outfit, which we'll talk later in the dance episode about the warm up outfits, but it's just like a jacket and a pair of like pants that match. A lot of like cheerleaders and dancers know what I'm talking about. I think even like basketball players have them too, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so it's just like an elastic pants. And luckily I always wore
Shorts
like
or something
tights
underneath.
underneath mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wear tights because like shorts still too cold. Like I want my thighs warm. And she just like pulled down my pants, but also pulled down my like leggings underneath. And, like I was so mad about that. Whatever.
Should have went
I
back and
didn't have
depantsed
anything anyway.
her. No.
I didn't have a butt or anything, so it didn't matter. You couldn't see anything. But yeah, having PE with him wasn't bad because like he was really active. So like it was fun to watch. I mean, he was a basketball player, but like there was one time in particular he wasn't there that day. And then all of a sudden he strolls into gym class and we're all wearing like gym outfits. And he like walks into class and you can tell that he is high as fuck, right? And he's just in there. He looks so hot though, with his like jeans that had like holes ripped in it, and he was wearing like a tighter shirt because that was like the style then. And then he had like Justin Bieber swoop hair, and he would like shake it. Yeah, okay, he could get it. He did end up getting it, but I'm sure y'all could figure that out.
Okay.
By the way, I'm talking about him, but like that day, I think in particular is really when like Miranda was like, I like him. Not because he came in high. Like I was highly against like smoking at that time. But that changed everything. I understood what Megan saw in him in that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a different version of him than Megan did, but I understood it. All right, enough about JA. Go on.
Go on. Oh, also about classes, before we get into the other part of that I know Miranda's talking about. She talked about her trying to make it to classes on time, but I just remember one of the first days, like she said, we had 4 different classes, but I, for the life of me, could not figure out where a specific class was. And I wandered the halls for like a good 5 minutes after the bell had rang, and I was like, I don't know where the heck I'm going. And eventually, somebody I think came out to get me, or like whatever. And I just remember walking into class very embarrassed that I was late, and I was like, hey, what's up, everybody? So, but to be fair, it was down another long hallway, so, how do they expect people to know where the heck it's at with no signage? I blame the school for that one.
I feel like they did give us a lenient like moment, like the first week. If you were late to it, it was okay.
Yeah, but still.
If you could see her face, you could tell that she is holding a lot of resentment right now.
No. All right, well, I guess since we talked about Miranda's crush in high school, we can talk about mine. Will you chill over there? She just.
I'm ready to hear about it. I'm
uh,
ready to hear about it.
Okay, you gotta chill. Um, Hi, future slash editor Megan here. everything that you guys are about to hear about our boyfriends, Casey and BO, actually happened in 10th grade and not in ninth grade. That was definitely my bad. And Miranda was right when she was like, I'm not sure, I thought that was later. So from here on out, anything we mention about our boyfriends was 10th grade, not ninth grade. All right, back to the podcast. So I ended up having my very first boyfriend in high school in ninth grade.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Yuck. At the time, yes, but now, no. Um, it was something, and I don't know, why. I don't know if I don't think I had him in any of my classes, but I think I might have met him. Actually, I feel like I did meet him at one of the high school football games because, what else? What other better thing do we have to do on a Friday night than go to the high school football games? Um, I don't know if you ever went the first couple of nights or during ninth grade, but I did all the time.
Oh, no, we definitely went together. I mean, we were starting to make our own separate friends, because at that point, all of our middle school friends kinda, like, dissipated out. They didn't wanna be friends with us anymore because they were like, "Megan and Miranda are too much drama," which totally valid, totally valid. You
Very valid.
guys, honestly, so sorry. You needed to go on your own because we were too much. We were too competitive with each other, and I feel like that's really what the issue is.
Yep.
But that's okay. I feel like it brings us better moments now as adults, but it was not good as children. Um, so we were definitely like MK came back because she was in middle school with us, but she ended up coming back. I don't know when exactly, but we got really, really close. And Megan ended up making her own friends and stuff that weren't necessarily my friends. I mean, they were cool people, but like I just didn't hit it off with them. Um, but I did go. I don't know who I hung out with.
I
Maybe PW? I
feel
don't
like
know.
I feel like for you in high school, you kind of not with like the major popular kids, but you kind of hung out with the kids that were a little bit more popular, and then I don't edgy's not the right word to use, but
Edgy is the right word. I don't know what you're talking about.
okay. But yeah, it was like half like football basketball team, half like girl edgy team. And I say that because of JA, because you started hanging out around his friends, which were basketball team slash football team.
I was just trying to get his attention. I wasn't really friends with any of those people. So like I would like dip into the group and then like dip out and like go back to my own group. But it's just like, oh hey, like JA, pay attention to me. Like I can be this girl. Like if you need me to be this girl, you know, come over here. It didn't
Anyway,
work for freshman. It didn't work freshman year. We'll get to when that actually worked, but it did not happen freshman year.
yeah, but I ended up meeting, which is so funny that his initials are BO to me.
And man, did he have some BO.
Would you
I'm gonna
chill?
stop chiming in.
No, but that is where I met BO was at a football game. And I remember there was another kid there too. I don't remember his name at all, but he was a blonde kid. He had this Justin Bieber swoop hair. Um, I have a photo of him somewhere that I can show you later, but I feel like you'd remember him if I sent you a photo of him. And
Yeah, you said Justin Bieber swoop. I knew all of them.
maybe
Anybody
maybe
had a just
maybe his name. Okay, and not that we're ever because I don't know his name. I don't know where he's at. I'm not friends with him, but I think his name might have been Justin. That's the only name drop I will ever say on here, but
did he
I
have
don't
glasses?
remember. No, I can definitely show you later, but
Okay, show me later because there's only one Justin I can think of right now, which
okay,
is weird because Justin's a very like common name.
right. But it was I can't remember everybody in the photo, but there was also AF in there as well, and she was a little side attachment if you ever seen one. She.
I'm thinking of two different AFs. When you first said that, I was thinking about the good AF, not that the other one's a bad AF, but like I know what you're talking about with like side attachment. She comes up in sophomore year. I can't wait to talk about her.
Oh.
But I was thinking you were talking about I know you were talking about little, we'll just call her little AF if we haven't talked about the other one.
Little A. Yeah.
Little as fuck. Little as
Okay. All right. Let's not. Yeah. Uh, I feel like at the start she was, her own person, but then she like slowly came into being like wanna be us is, and it was very annoying. I every day like coming in was something new because you don't know if she was wearing something that you would wear or if she did her makeup and she was like, "Oh yeah, I always did my makeup like this and it's so pretty and blah blah blah." And I just wanted to punch her in the face. Sorry, AF. Hope that you are okay now. Totally. And Raina's giving me a look.
I mean, she's doing makeup more beautiful than what we are. She kept it going. She is still very like teeny weeny vibes though.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like we kind of grew out of it. I mean, I'm saying that with colored hair right now, but
I wouldn't define that
um
as seen though.
I guess yeah.
I mean, we definitely both have different styles than we used to in middle school or in high school. I in all of school to be real. Anyway, I keep delaying this BO story. It's something. So yeah, I met him in a football game, at a football game, and I remember at the time asking my mom if I could date because I said, "Listen, I like him and he likes me, and I was just wondering like if we could date." And it was very weird to ask your parent if you could date somebody, but again, I was very sheltered. No, it wasn't weird. Yes, I was very sheltered. As Miranda nods to my questions. Um, so yeah, I remember asking, and in October I had a boyfriend, and yeah, it was a great day for Miranda because she was like, yay.
It's all I've ever wanted. It's all I've ever wanted.
Right. Well, at
I
the
love you so much. I just wanted somebody else to love you.
what? I mean, at the time it was really great. It was my first boyfriend, his first girlfriend kind of deal, and later finding out too that his parents, had been together since high school, and I remember going out. um, there was a couple things. So I don't remember how long it was until we had like our very first kiss, but I remember him being so disappointed about it the one time that we were supposed to walk home from Nana's house and get in the car with my mom, and my mom was supposed to take him back or something. And he was supposed to give me a kiss on the way back, but he didn't, and he was upset about it.
That
Yeah,
was a sign right there. You
just
should have left him.
toss
You should
him.
have left.
And so finally, when we get out of the car, we met on like the back right hand side of my mom's van, and we very awkwardly, closely kissed. And then he got in the house, and then I got in the car, and obviously, mom knew like what was happening. um, and the other time, well, there was two other times that I remember too that I can recall kissing. The first time, not that we didn't kiss, but the first time was we went to a Kohl's and we kissed at the back section of a Kohl's, and it was very weird because I caught him with his eyes open, and that was just like very awkward. I was like, "You don't kiss with your eyes open, you weirdo." Um,
Says the woman who's never kissed anybody before. But whatever, pop off,
what?
queen.
Listen, main character energy. I know it was supposed to happen.
We know. We know. I mean, I agree with you. Don't kiss anybody with your eyes open, but also like maybe he wanted to look at you.
That's really creepy. I just feel like it's natural when you kiss somebody, you don't kiss them with their eyes open. Like, okay, to be fair, nowadays, me and my boyfriend currently, like, I'll be like, hey, give me a kiss or whatever, and he'll be like, stare with his face and just like, kiss, but
Okay, but that's like funny. That's like funny.
yes, but not when you're like romantically like, give me a kiss.
Ew.
Um,
Ew. Ew. I hear that in my ears right now. Ew. I love you, but no.
okay. Well, anyway, my first, well, so yeah, so we went on a date, but we went on a date with his family. That was very weird. And we had went out to Olive Garden, and then we went to, I'm gonna call it LA. We didn't go to Los Angeles, but we went to a place called LA, and they had laser tag and mini golf. Um, CH's family owned it. And so we did all that. And I mean, his family's very nice. Um, but then eventually I was the a-hole in that situation, and I broke up with him 2 days after Christmas. Just breaking hearts out here. I don't listen. Okay, in hindsight, that was really bad to do. But also, I felt like for the time we were moving too fast. Why I felt like we were moving too fast, I don't know. But I felt like we were moving too fast. And no, that didn't happen till later.
No. Okay. I retract my statement.
Okay. We're not gonna delve that deep, but we could say some things to
We
that thing.
can.
No. Anyway, um, so yeah, so I broke up with him, and then I just remember Facebook drama and Miranda trying to mute herself with her foot. um, so yeah. Anyway, Facebook drama where he posted something along the lines of like, "That's okay. There was somebody there that you didn't know was there before," and blah blah blah. And of course, she was talking about, or he was talking about. Hi.
No.
Yeah. She
That
was in.
boy.
Listen, he thought every boy that we dated, I feel like, thought that they were a little player, and like, you can't give it to them because.
Listen, I can't wait to talk about Casey in this. I can't wait.
um. So yeah, so I don't remember her last name. Obviously, they are now married. Surprise! Spoiler alert! They're married now. Um, they have kids. Very happy for them. Glad that they stuck it out through high school and all that crap, and that it wasn't
Woo,
me.
congratulations on knocking somebody up and proposing to them. Congratulations.
Hashtag glad it wasn't me. Um,
Hashtag glad it wasn't you too.
yeah. So, but to finish, there was a lot of drama. I feel like we are gonna scratch the surface in another episode. We'll just talk about the boys. But yeah, long story short, basically once I broke up with him, again, don't know her last name right now. Obviously it's O because they're married, but at the time it wasn't. But it was definitely starting with an A. Um,
Wait, hold on. Like the first one starting with A?
yes, her name is also the
Can you
same
imagine
as
if
little
you
A.
yeah, I remember that now. Uh, can you imagine if you married him though? You'd be MO and BO.
Mobo.
Mubbo in his house
That's gross. Let's not think about that.
with, with your little kid. With
Ew.
your kid.
Ew. See, listen, other people's kids, great. Love you sometimes, maybe, if I know you. My own kid, I cringe. I mean, again, almost 30, and like I can't imagine myself with a kid that's like I don't even know how old, 8, 9, 10. I really don't know. And married for like 9 years. Like, no. Hashtag no. Can't. Can't imagine that. Don't want to imagine that. No, thank you.
I can't imagine it. Thank you.
Great. Well, I can't. So anyway, I'm gonna finish up the scratch the surface. So he ended up dating her, and then for whatever stupid reason, playing the both of us, but I think more so me. And we went to Winter Ball, and we hung out there together. And then I went to um, prom as, wait, that would have been sophomore year. Wow, well then that's for another time. You just got to be left on the cliffhanger for that one. But let's just say we got caught making
I
out.
hate I hate your cliffhangers.
Cliffhanger. And then, to surprise, surprise, we got caught making out by our assistant principal by the bathrooms. That was something. And he definitely did not know how to make out either. There was just like full on froggy
The
tongue.
assistant the assistant principal didn't know how to make out because I'd make out with him any day. I'm just saying.
Listen, not the assistant principal, because that's a little scandalous. But the BO did not know how to make out. It was like
It sounds like he
frog,
doesn't know how to make
frog,
out, wash, or anything.
frog tongue. It's like.
Did you know how to make out during that time? What if he thought
Yes.
you were frog tongue?
Well, screw him.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll go into more detail with him later. Maybe we'll think about it.
We'll move on to Spanish. I have an embarrassing story that involves Spanish second semester, but you can tell your moment real quickly.
Okay, so we both had Spanish together. I almost failed Spanish miserably with a D.
Me too.
Um, it was we had a speaking test and then
No
we had a writing
bueno.
class. It was
No
hard.
bueno.
Um, our teacher was Miss S, and I just remember, listen, I'm hoping she's still alive because she wasn't that old then, but like, I just remember everybody would make fun of her because of how she looked, and that was very wrong. But like, that was how she was known. Um, and basically, we had Spanish names that we had to go by. We couldn't go by a regular name of Megan Miranda, so I chose. Did you have? Yeah, you had Marisol, I believe, right?
One of us was Marisol and one of us was Maria.
I think I was Maria and you were Marisol. I was at the time I was mad because you chose Marisol and I wanted Marisol, but whatever. Um, so I have a habit of like just fidgeting with different things, and so I was playing with my hair tie, and of course we sat in the very front row, and she had both of her desks like facing the middle so she could walk in a line. And I was playing with it randomly, and I accidentally flung it, and it hit her in the face. And everybody just started cracking up laughing. And she was like, Maria! And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to hit you in the face with that. But I think she knew. Like, it wasn't intentional, it
But
wasn't
she did.
malicious.
She did.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know if we ever got her first name, but I'm sure. I mean, I'm friends with a couple of teachers, now. So I'm sure they have her on there somewhere. But if you ever needed to look her up and try to see if you could see where she's at. I do remember too one of our seventh grade teachers passing, and I really liked her. She was our English teacher, but we already talked about seventh grade.
So that brings us into our my story about Spanish second semester. We had to do a spoken test over like menu items. So we had to make our own menu, and then we had to sit in front of the class and read off of the menu like we were ordering in full Spanish. And one thing about me is that when I get really nervous, I get the farts. And Megan's just smiling right now. But, like, I was so nervous. First off, I just wanna mention that JA was in this class, so, like, this was, like, 2nd semester, we had 3 classes together, like, the crush was really crushing, right? I did not wanna read it in front of him. He wasn't good at Spanish either, so, like, I don't know why I was so nervous because this boy did not do it either. But I was so nervous that I ended up farting during it, and then, like, we were, like, Ugg boots or knockoff Ugg boots, and so, like, I was just sticking my pencil into my boot at that time and was like, "Ah, this boot keeps making noises." Like, Miranda, anybody would believe that your boot is making fart noises.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I'm just sharing that with you.
That's so nice.
Here for a good time, not a long time. I'm gonna
Uh,
share stories like that.
well, this is also the year too that, not that I have stories about them currently for this episode, but that's also the year that I met RJ and JR, and that's funny that their names. Okay, how funny is it that their names are opposite of each other and they dated? You're staring for a really long time.
I'm just staring at their names like, oh, I never really realized that.
I didn't realize that till now either. And then that's also where I met HS as well. And for whatever reason, we became the original six. That's what we named ourselves. I don't know. I don't know why, because it was the people that were in that group also dated. So like RJ and JR dated, HS and KS dated, and then me and BO dated. So like our friend group turned into like a dating group. Not really a dating group, but we all hung out together. We all had our own chat together. And yeah, I do think RJ and JR were really cute together at the time, but um, JR is now married and RJ will be getting married next year. So.
All right. And so this brings us on to Nana had a prime spot.
Prime
She
realty.
lived she lived in the spot where we could like park our cars as we talked about earlier and we could walk over. But I feel like there was a moment where like we were walking home, well, we were walking to Nana's house and we just hear like music coming from somewhere. And little, you know, we found out where that music was coming from. And
I'm
so
on the edge of my seat.
here goes another boy crush
For both of
of
us.
DC. DC. He was
Disney Channel.
he was something. He was not no Disney Channel. There was no Disney Channel around that man. He was like full on teeny weeny dream boy.
True.
You know who he reminds me of? Andy Six, which was like a big person in like the scene culture. Anyway, look him up. If you want to know what like DC looked like, that's what he looked like. Anyway, he's still hot. You can still get it. He smokes cigarettes, so I don't want that. But he could
Mm.
stop for a day. He could get it.
I mean, he also had a friend too. Please. Listen, I was saying it because his last name is so close to the other one. Anyway, CS. We both got some name dropping accidentally, bleeped out. You'll never figure it out. No. Um,
Unless you're those people listening and you know exactly who we're talking about because it was not shy. We were
oh
not
no.
shy about it.
Well,
No.
okay, listen, the person made us not shy was one of our best friends at the time. NM. Girl, she was
Okay.
not shy.
I loved her though. But like
She was
listen,
so
I
great.
don't think I don't think she had anything really to do with it. Yes, she called it out or she was like, who, in the middle of lunch class, lunch. Um, but let's be honest, we were always staring at them.
True.
And, like, you know when people are staring at you
Okay, listen, their whole entire friend group literally knew who we were because we would not stop staring at
because we
them.
stared so much. Oh my gosh, so cute. So cute.
Well, they were 2 grades older than us, and we luckily had the same lunch as them. I almost said lunch class, as them. And our friend group kind of sat. We didn't have assigned seats at lunch, but we did like have assigned seats because we made them ourselves assigned seats. And so we would grab our food and then we would come sit down, and their group sat at the very back corner near the glass, like glass walls. I was gonna say ceilings. And there, like Miranda said, there was just one specific time where we were talking about them, and freaking NM gets out of her seat and she's like, "Where are they at? Where are they at?" And we were like, "Oh my God, sit down. We will show you, but sit your ass down." Like it was embarrassing. And like we said, their whole entire friend group kind of knew, and I don't know. I feel like did we ever eventually like talk to the one girl in that and she was like, "Yeah, we knew," or whatever. I feel like I feel like somebody did at some point. Maybe that was a dream that I had, but
Interesting that you're dreaming about talking to girls, maybe.
no, that's not what I mean. I just mean like I feel like somebody at some point like we'd end up talking to somebody over there in that group and they're like, "Yeah, no, we knew." But
I mean, okay, so, like, here's the thing, though, is that your stepsister ended up, like, kinda dating CS.
not, I don't I didn't think she dated him. But they both
They
liked
were, like,
soccer.
they were talking, and, like, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go over to, like, the soccer game," and she would bring us to the soccer game to
Right.
watch.
Right.
So we would watch CS. Now, DC was not there because, they were friends, but they weren't friends like that, like, "Let me go support my friend in soccer." No.
Yeah.
DC was like, "I'm gonna" he had a band, "I'm gonna go practice in my
He
garage and make
had,
a lot of music."
you know what it reminds me of now? I don't know if anybody's ever seen the movie Onward, like Disney, but in that movie, the one of the brothers has like one of those big, like, I wouldn't say creepy vans, but he has a van, and uh, CS was known for his van. You'd see that van, it had stickers everywhere, and you would just know that he was around.
He was around.
He was
Watch
around.
out.
Yeah, I do unfortunately remember that now. But like, I feel like she called us out too because she was like, "Y'all gotta stop," and we're like, "We liked him before you even started talking to him, so like, shut up."
Yeah, like, shut up. Don't make it awkward for us because we had a crush on him before you got here. He was ours.
Right. He was ours.
Listen, I have a story about him. When after he graduated, he, like, linked back up with me, and, like, he lived in, like 2 hours away from our hometown, and so I had a car, and so I drove to him. I don't remember if we made out or something, but then, like, I immediately left because I was like, "I'm not having sex with him. It's not happening. It's not happening." Cringe.
I
But now
remember.
he has
He's
a
married,
kid. He's
yeah.
happy. Yeah. He's like a cute dad.
Yeah, I remember he also worked at the laser tag place that we went to all the time. And
Mhm.
I don't know if it was me and you at the end of the night or something, but we just like constantly like looped back around and talked to him. And he was like, "Oh yeah, you're, blah blah blah." Oh, DC was in my math class, and he sat at my table with CB, and I just remember that CB was like asking all the time for like help um, on like stuff, and he dated KS for a little bit. He had
I don't
the
think you're spelling that last name right.
okay. Anyway, that's not the point. We don't care about CB. We care about DC. And that was the first time, I think, because he had to repeat, I believe. He either repeated senior year or he was in my class sophomore year, something. I don't know. I don't remember which class he was in, but he was in my math class, and that was when I was talking to him and like helping him and hanging out, and I was like, "What's up? You're in my class." I didn't ever think this would happen, but it was really cool, and he was like a cool kid, and it was great, and great, great times.
That was a very passionate conversation.
Sorry. And I also remember making, because I started making I can't think of the name. They're not bracelets, but they were basically bracelets because we would make them with like hearts and we'd follow patterns. Well, I would. And I would like sell them or whatever. And I remember CS would or contacted me when he was like, "Oh, hey, can you make me one? And I want these colors." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I made him one. And yeah, we talked to them eventually. Not as in like BFFs, but
We did, yeah. We finally got out of our awkwardness and just staring and eventually would say a couple things.
well, yeah, especially because, DC was in my class. And then we were just like, here, Facebook. Yeah. He doesn't get on there
It
anymore,
says
though,
he's
does he?
it says he's still 27.
Wow. Me too. I'm still 27 too.
Me too. So I guess this is the part where we bring in KC and BO together. You want to start that off?
That was a very, very short little um, adventure.
So I wasn't getting my way with JA. He wasn't budging. He just liked to pick on me. And during freshman year, I'm going to backtrack a little bit before we start the KC BO conversation. During freshman year, we had this gym teacher who was very creepy and like was very creepy towards me.
He
And
was,
like,
he was, somebody's,
no,
no,
no, no,
different?
no. There was two gym teachers.
Okay,
I had the older one,
okay,
like the old man.
okay. I don't think I had
Can't
him.
think of his name. I don't want to think of his name. Anyway, he like came up to me once and like tucked my hair behind my ear and like would mention comments about how long my legs were and stuff like that. So it was just like very uncomfortable. But like JA and CC thought this was hilarious and in math class ended up drawing a portrait of like me and the gym teacher together and like passed it around to people and then our teacher found it and got like really really upset about it, like a different teacher, like our math teacher. And I remember CC and JA also talking about like what different holes that they would take, like just inappropriate like conversations, not like you're not supposed to be like doing this, right? And but like of course I was like infatuated with Jay, so I was like, yeah, talk about me all you want. I don't care, like CC, you're not allowed to talk about me like that. But like whatever, like well, whatever. Was it CC or was it
I'm lost about
JT?
who you're thinking.
There's only one CC.
Oh, yeah.
Or was it J?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember knowing him that young.
No, because I feel like MK and him didn't really get together until like junior year or so.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was CC. Yeah, I think it was
Probably.
CC. Anyway, so like it made that really uncomfortable, although I was still infatuated with Jay, but he wasn't budging because he was too cool for me. So I ended up like having a class with KF. She were really good friends, because she was friends with WH and CR and everything in middle school. So like we were still good friends. And she knew of KC, but I didn't really know him. I saw him around, but I didn't know anything about him. And so like we started flirting because we had like a science class or something together. And so, like, I kind of got with KC, and like he was my like little singing weenie boy, dream boy.
Always wore
Yeah,
black, long sleeves, black hair.
all yeah, black hair in his face. He never wanted anybody to see his face because he was always sleeping during class. That's why it wasn't because he had an ugly face. It was just because he just wanted to sleep. Yeah, that was fun. But there was a time where me and Megan, I don't know why we stayed after school, but like I know my grandma was picking us up.
Mhm.
So we ended up in the high school and we walked towards the middle school. And like we had like what was it, like glitter lip gloss? It was yours. It
Yeah.
wasn't
I had it from, I think it was Victoria's Secret
Bath
or
and
Bath
Body
and
Works.
Body Works, something
Yeah.
like that. But it was a clear gloss that had glitter in it. And it was my favorite thing to wear because it made my lips all sparkly. Um, and you ended up using it too. And we ended up kissing both the boys, and they just had glitter on their
Just
lips.
over and over again. Yeah. That was funny. And then my grandma comes and picks us up and like just saw us hanging out with the boys. So like that was like a dun dun dun.
Awkward.
We'll talk more about Casey and I think the ending of BO
Yeah. I mean,
in the next high school episode.
also we like I don't know if we'll ever do just like a boy episode, but I for the longest time for like since elementary school had the biggest crush on TL2. Like best friend, I think he knew that I had a crush on him all the way up through college, I believe, but like thinking back on it and like thinking back even to when I was out of high school and in college and stuff, it would have never worked out because I think it would have just been too awkward. We were too close of friends at that point, but had a big crush on him too. He he was dating somebody for a really long time, and she was like 7, 8, 9 years older than him, and then they broke up. And then I think he's engaged. He got engaged recently, but they were dating for a really long time. I think her name starts with an E. I don't know her last name. Obviously, soon to be L, but yeah, I had the biggest crush on that boy as well. I took him to my dad's side of the family Halloween party one year, and obviously everybody thought that because when you bring somebody to like a family event like that, you feel like at least to your family they think that they're more than just a friend. But I took him to the family event that I had never taken anybody to before because it was a big Halloween party get together, and my dad's side of the family's big. And yeah, he came to that, and we hung out a lot, and eventually ended up having a falling out, and don't talk to him anymore. But I see he still, looks at my Instagram posts sometimes, and he's very quiet on social media. But happy that he found somebody to be married to eventually, whenever they get married. So I know he was in the, I don't want to say Navy or Army, but I know he's in like something of that nature. Air Force, maybe. But
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm looking at his stuff. I don't know.
you should be able to notice it pretty easily.
I want to say Air Force because he's got a whole bunch of planes behind
Oh,
him.
yeah. I thought you were talking about trying to figure out his fiance.
No, no, no. I saw her.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I think that ends us for the freshman episode. Did we survive? Yes. Barely? Definitely.
Especially, definitely, barely.
Surviving.
However, you all will have to wait for the 10th grade episode because we're not talking about 10th grade next time. We're going to be talking about our dance team. I almost said dance class, but
Dance teams. There
dance
was multiple teams.
teams. So that is all, like Miranda said, for this episode. You can go and check out all of the photos that we post for each episode over on our Instagram account at Barely Surviving 30. And we can post that obviously in the show notes as well. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple, thanks for listening. That's so nice. I appreciate you. So cool. So we will see you next time for another episode of Barely Surviving 30. I'm Megan.
And I'm Miranda.
We hope you have a good week. Bye.
Bye. Hey, Mom, I'm in the middle of recording a podcast with Megan, and you're on speaker. So, better watch what you say, because it will be snipped in.
Okay, hurry up.
Okay.
What's the
Thank you for the
tea?
rush. What's the tea, Mom? What do you need?
I was going to tell you something, but I can't, say it, out loud and everybody hear. I don't know who's... So just call me.